Hey everyone, welcome back to Chill English Channel, your calm place for learning English through meaningful and thought-provoking conversations. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jake. Today we're talking about a topic that many people secretly think about but rarely discuss openly.
Our topic today is, you need to disappear for a while.
Now, before anyone gets worried, we're not talking about running away from your life or cutting everyone off forever.
We're talking about something much healthier than that. Sometimes people need a period of distance from distractions, pressure, and constant noise so they can reconnect with themselves.
Modern life moves incredibly fast. We wake up and immediately check our phones. Throughout the day, we answer messages, read emails, watch videos, and scroll through social media.
Many people spend almost every moment connected to something. As a result, they rarely have time to sit quietly and reflect on their own thoughts.
Before we begin, think about this question. When was the last time you spent an entire day without social media, notifications, or constant digital stimulation?
For many people, the answer is probably, I honestly can't remember.
And that says a lot about the world we live in today.
In this episode, we'll talk about solitude, self-discovery, mental clarity, personal growth, and why stepping back from the world can sometimes help you move forward.
We'll also learn useful vocabulary, natural English expressions, and practical sentence patterns that native speakers use when talking about personal development.
So if you want to improve your English while having a deeper conversation about life, you're in the right place.
And if you enjoy these calm English conversations, don't forget to subscribe to Chill English Channel.
All right, Jake, let's get started.
Let's do it.
Why do you think so many people feel exhausted these days, even when they aren't doing physically demanding work?
I think one major reason is information overload. Every day we absorb huge amounts of information without giving our minds enough time to process it.
That's true. Many people finish work, but their brains never really stop working.
Exactly. After work, they check social media. Then they answer messages. Then they watch videos or read the news. Their attention is constantly being pulled in different directions.
Over time, that can create a feeling of mental exhaustion.
Mental exhaustion is an important phrase to learn. It describes the feeling of being emotionally and mentally drained after dealing with too much stress, information, or responsibility.
For example, someone might say, after a busy month at work, I felt mentally exhausted.
Or they could say, constant notifications leave me mentally drained by the end of the day.
I think many listeners can relate to that feeling.
Definitely. What's interesting is that people often assume they need more entertainment when they feel exhausted.
But sometimes what they actually need is less stimulation.
Exactly. Instead of adding more noise, they need more silence.
Silence can feel uncomfortable at first, though.
It can. Many people are so used to constant activity that being alone with their thoughts feels strange.
Why do you think that happens?
Because silence removes distractions. When everything becomes quiet, we start noticing thoughts and emotions that we usually ignore.
That can be challenging.
It can be, but it can also be incredibly valuable. Sometimes we discover worries we need to address, decisions we need to make, or goals we have been neglecting.
In other words, silence creates space for self-reflection.
Self-reflection is another useful term. It means thinking carefully about your experiences, feelings, and behavior so that you understand yourself better.
For example, someone might say, taking time alone helped me practice self-reflection.
Or, self-reflection helped me understand what was causing my stress.
I think one of the biggest reasons people need to disappear for a while is that they lose touch with themselves.
I agree completely. Many people become so focused on meeting expectations that they forget what they truly want.
They spend years trying to please other people.
They follow trends, compare themselves to others, and constantly seek approval.
Eventually, they wake up feeling disconnected from their own lives.
That's why temporary solitude can be so powerful. It gives people an opportunity to ask important questions.
Questions like, am I happy with the direction of my life?
Or, am I spending my time on things that truly matter to me?
Another major issue today is comparison.
Social media has made comparison almost unavoidable.
Every day, people see pictures of successful careers, expensive vacations, perfect relationships, and exciting lifestyles.
The problem is that people are comparing their everyday reality to someone else's highlight reel.
That comparison often damages confidence.
It can also damage self-esteem.
Self-esteem refers to the way we view and value ourselves.
For example, someone might say, constant comparison lowered my self-esteem.
Or building healthy self-esteem helped me become more confident.
One interesting thing happens when people step away from social media for a while.
What happens?
They often stop comparing themselves so much. Instead of focusing on what everyone else is doing, they start paying attention to their own lives again.
That sounds simple, but it can be life-changing.
It really can. Many people discover that they feel calmer, more focused, and more satisfied when they stop measuring themselves against others every day.
I've also noticed that people often feel pressure to constantly present a perfect version of themselves.
That's a great point. Sometimes it feels like everyone is performing all the time.
They want to appear successful, productive, attractive, and confident.
Maintaining that image can be exhausting because nobody is perfect in real life.
Disappearing for a while allows people to stop performing and start being authentic.
Authenticity is a powerful word. It means being genuine and honest instead of pretending to be someone you're not.
Authentic people usually seem more relaxed because they aren't trying to impress everyone around them.
Exactly. They're comfortable being themselves.
Another benefit of stepping back is gaining clarity.
Clarity means understanding something clearly without confusion.
For example, someone might say, "Taking a break gave me clarity about my future."
Or, after spending time alone, I gained clarity about what I truly wanted.
Sometimes the answers we're searching for are already inside us.
The problem is that modern life is often too noisy for us to hear them.
That's why disappearing for a while is not always about escaping the world.
Sometimes it's about creating enough space to hear your own thoughts, understand your own feelings, and reconnect with the person you want to become.
And honestly, I think many people need that more than they realize.
I completely agree. Taking a step back from the noise can be one of the healthiest things a person does for their mind, their confidence, and their future.
One thing I find interesting is that many people are afraid to slow down.
I've noticed that too. Even when people have free time, they often feel guilty for not being productive.
It's almost as if resting has become something people need to justify.
Exactly. Many people believe they should always be working, improving, or achieving something.
That mindset can be dangerous over time.
Definitely. Ambition is healthy, but constant pressure can eventually lead to burnout.
Burnout is another important word for our listeners.
Burnout describes a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress.
For example, someone might say, "After working nonstop for several years, I experienced burnout."
Or, burnout made me realize I needed to change my lifestyle.
I think many people wait too long before taking a break.
I agree. They ignore stress because they think they can handle it indefinitely.
But eventually, the body and mind start sending signals.
Some people lose motivation.
Others become irritable and emotionally exhausted.
And many people begin feeling disconnected from things they once enjoyed.
That's often a sign that something needs attention.
Exactly. Sometimes disappearing for a while is not a luxury, it's a necessity.
When people finally step away from constant demands, what do you think they usually discover first?
Honestly, I think they discover how distracted they've been.
That's true.
Many people don't realize how fragmented their attention has become.
Fragmented is a useful word.
Yes, if something is fragmented, it is divided into many small pieces instead of being focused and whole.
For example, someone could say, "My attention became fragmented because I was constantly checking my phone."
Or, a fragmented schedule made it difficult to concentrate.
I think attention has become one of the most valuable resources today.
Absolutely. Companies compete for our attention every single day.
Social media platforms, advertisements, news websites, and streaming services all want us to keep watching.
And if we're not careful, we can spend years reacting instead of intentionally living.
That's a powerful thought.
When people disappear for a while, they often regain control of their attention.
They begin choosing where their energy goes instead of allowing everything around them to decide.
That creates a surprising sense of freedom.
Freedom is something many people are searching for.
Yes, but sometimes they look for it in the wrong places.
What do you mean?
People often think freedom comes from having more money, more possessions, or more status.
But that's not always true.
Sometimes freedom comes from needing less.
That's interesting.
When people step away from constant comparison and external pressure, they often realize they don't need as much as they thought.
Less approval.
Less validation.
Less attention from others.
Exactly. They become more comfortable with themselves.
Validation is an important word here.
Validation means approval or recognition from other people.
For example, someone might say, "I spent years seeking validation from others."
Or, learning to validate myself improved my confidence.
I think one of the biggest lessons people learn during periods of solitude is self-reliance.
Definitely.
Self-reliance means trusting your own judgment and abilities.
People often spend so much time asking everyone else what they should do that they stop listening to themselves.
Then, when they're alone, they slowly rebuild that trust.
They start making decisions based on their own values instead of other people's expectations.
That process can feel uncomfortable at first,
It can, because independence requires responsibility.
but it can also be incredibly rewarding.
Another thing people often discover is how much unnecessary stress they've been carrying.
That's true.
Sometimes we're stressed about situations that haven't even happened yet.
We worry about future problems,
We replay past mistakes.
and we create anxiety about things we can't control.
Stepping back allows people to see those patterns more clearly.
Pattern is another useful word.
A pattern is a repeated behavior, habit, or way of thinking.
For example, I notice a pattern of negative thinking.
Or, taking time alone helps me recognize unhealthy patterns in my life.
I think recognizing patterns is one of the first steps toward change.
Absolutely. You can't improve something if you don't notice it.
That's why reflection is so important.
Reflection helps people understand not only what they're doing, but also why they're doing it.
Another interesting thing is that people often rediscover old interests during these periods.
That's so true.
Hobbies they abandoned years ago.
Creative projects they never finished.
Dreams they stopped pursuing.
Sometimes those things return when life becomes quieter.
Why do you think that happens?
Because constant busyness leaves very little room for curiosity.
Curiosity is such an important part of personal growth.
It really is. Curious people continue learning, exploring, and developing throughout their lives.
And when people disappear for a while, they often reconnect with that curiosity,
They start reading more,
learning new skills,
exploring new ideas,
asking deeper questions.
instead of simply reacting to whatever appears on their screen.
Another thing I've noticed is that solitude often improves perspective.
Perspective is a wonderful word.
Perspective refers to the way we see and understand a situation.
For example, someone might say, "Time away gave me a new perspective on my problems."
Or, changing my perspective helped me feel less stressed.
Many problems seem enormous when we're standing too close to them.
But after creating some distance, they often appear more manageable.
Exactly. Distance doesn't solve every problem, but it can help us approach problems more calmly and rationally.
I think that's one of the greatest benefits of disappearing for a while.
You're not escaping reality, you're creating enough space to understand reality more clearly.
And sometimes that clarity becomes the starting point for meaningful change.
Because when people understand themselves better, they often make better decisions.
And better decisions can completely change the direction of a person's life.
So far, we've talked about mental exhaustion, distraction, solitude, self-discovery, and clarity. Now I'd like to talk about something that many people experience after spending time away from constant noise.
What's that?
They begin to change,
That's true. Sometimes the biggest changes happen quietly,
not through dramatic moments,
not through sudden success.
but through small decisions repeated consistently over time.
I think many people imagine personal growth as something exciting and visible.
When in reality, growth is often private.
Very private.
Sometimes nobody notices you're changing except you.
You're thinking differently,
making different choices,
setting healthier boundaries.
spending your time more intentionally.
And eventually, those small changes create a completely different life.
Boundaries are another important topic.
Definitely.
Many people struggle because they never learned how to protect their time and energy.
They say yes when they want to say no.
They accept responsibilities they don't actually want.
They constantly put other people's needs ahead of their own.
Over time, that creates resentment and exhaustion.
Resentment is a useful word.
Resentment means a feeling of frustration or bitterness that develops when someone feels treated unfairly or ignored.
For example, someone might say, I felt resentment because I never expressed my true feelings.
Or, setting boundaries helped reduce resentment in my relationships.
One interesting thing happens when people spend time alone.
What happens?
They become more aware of what drains their energy.
That's true.
Certain habits.
Certain environments.
Sometimes even certain relationships.
Awareness creates the opportunity for change.
Exactly. You can't protect your energy if you don't know where it's being lost.
I think another important lesson people learn is that being busy and being productive are not the same thing.
That's a lesson many people need to hear.
Someone can be busy all day and accomplish very little.
Meanwhile, someone else can work for a few focused hours and make significant progress.
Productivity is often about focus rather than activity.
Focus becomes much easier when life is less cluttered.
Clutter can be physical, but it can also be mental.
Exactly.
Too many commitments.
Too many distractions.
Too many unnecessary worries.
All of those things create mental clutter.
Another thing people often discover during periods of solitude is gratitude.
That's interesting. Why gratitude?
Because when life slows down, people start noticing things they previously overlooked.
Such as
Their health,
their family.
their friendships.
Small moments of peace.
Many people spend years chasing bigger and bigger goals.
But they forget to appreciate what they already have.
Gratitude doesn't mean giving up on ambition.
Not at all.
It simply means recognizing the value of the present moment.
Gratitude is another excellent vocabulary word.
Gratitude means appreciation for the good things in your life.
For example, someone might say, practicing gratitude improved my outlook on life.
Or, I felt gratitude for things I had previously taken for granted.
Taking something for granted means failing to appreciate it properly.
That's another useful expression for our listeners.
One of my favorite lessons from this topic is that not everyone needs access to every part of your life.
That's a powerful realization.
Many people feel pressure to share everything online.
Their plans,
Their goals,
their relationships.
their daily activities.
But sometimes growth happens best in private.
A seed grows underground before anyone sees it.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Sometimes people need a season of quiet work before sharing their results with the world.
During that period, they're learning, improving, and building a stronger foundation.
Foundation is an important word.
A foundation is the base that supports something and allows it to grow successfully.
For example, good habits create a strong foundation for success.
Or, self-discipline became the foundation of my personal growth.
Speaking of self-discipline, that's another thing people often develop when they spend time focusing on themselves.
Because they stop reacting to every distraction.
Exactly.
They become more intentional,
More focused.
more patient.
And, perhaps most importantly, they become more comfortable with themselves.
I think that's one of the greatest gifts solitude can offer.
Learning to enjoy your own company.
Many people spend their entire lives trying to avoid being alone.
Yet, when they finally become comfortable with themselves, they experience a different kind of confidence.
A quieter confidence.
A confidence that doesn't depend on attention or approval.
A confidence that comes from self-respect.
Self-respect means valuing yourself and treating yourself with dignity.
For example, someone might say, developing self-respect changed the way I made decisions.
Or, self-respect helped me establish healthier boundaries.
Before we finish today's conversation, let's review some of the key ideas we discussed.
We talked about mental exhaustion, distraction, solitude, clarity, self-reflection, and personal growth.
We also discussed self-esteem, validation, perspective, gratitude, boundaries, and self-respect.
Most importantly, we explored why people sometimes need to disappear for a while.
Not because they are weak,
Not because they are giving up.
and not because they want to escape reality.
Sometimes they simply need space to think, heal, grow, and reconnect with themselves.
Because in a world filled with constant noise, taking a step back can be one of the healthiest decisions a person makes.
And often the person who returns from that period of reflection is wiser, calmer, and more focused than before.
Now it's time for our question of the day.
If you could completely disconnect from distractions for 1 week, what would you spend your time doing?
Would you read more?
Learn a new skill?
Travel somewhere peaceful?
Or simply spend more time reflecting on your life?
Write your answer in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And try using some of the vocabulary we learned today while writing your response.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please like, comment, and subscribe to Chill English channel.
Thank you for spending this time with us and practicing your English together.
Keep learning, keep growing, and remember that sometimes stepping away from the noise is exactly what you need to hear your own voice again.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you next time!